Tonight, everyone wants to know, who is this guy? He was on the tarmac in Dallas tonight helping transport the latest Ebola patient. But take a look. He's the only one not wearing a hazmat suit. All he has is a clipboard. Joe, what is his story?
It's really a strange sight, isn't it? Now, take a look at him. This guy appears to be helping the medical personnel, or maybe he's one of them. On social media tonight, he is known as #clipboarddude. More on him in a moment, but first I want to tell you the latest on the newest patient.
29-year-old Amber Vinson is a nurse at the same Dallas hospital where the first Ebola patient was admitted. She was diagnosed 2 days after another nurse at the hospital, 26-year-old Nina Pham, was diagnosed. Today we learned that Amber took a trip earlier this week on a plane from Cleveland to Dallas. And get this, before her flight, she called the CDC and told them she had a low-grade fever of 99.5. The CDC told her it was okay to get on the flight. Tonight, on a conference call, the CDC director says that was a mistake.
The healthcare worker number 2 should not have traveled, should not have been allowed to travel by plane or any public transport by virtue of the fact that she was in an exposed group.
Officials are trying to track down the other 132 passengers, though the CDC says their risk of infection is considered extremely low. Hospital officials are planning an apology before Congress tomorrow.
We're a hospital that may have done some things different with the benefit of what we know today.
Meanwhile, CNN has learned why Amber was transferred to Emory University Hospital in Atlanta tonight. Officials were worried the nurses in Texas were going to stage a walkout.
And now we want to show you some more video of Clipboard Dude. Here he looks like he's trying to handle what may be medical waste in one of those red bags. Our Dallas affiliate made some phone calls. They asked every single agency involved in the transfer. They say everyone got back to them and said he didn't belong to them except for the CDC. No confirmation on whether he is a CDC employee, but bottom line here, guys, one CDC official on the ground in Dallas said he didn't have a problem with how he was acting, how he wasn't suited up, because they do not believe that he was at risk of getting infected.
He's standing 3 feet away from a woman in a suit. I don't understand how they can say that, Joe.
I don't either. I don't understand it.
Unbelievable. All right, Joe Vazquez in the newsroom. Thank you. Tonight we are learning the Frontier jet that carried the nurse with Ebola went back and forth to Cleveland multiple times before the CDC told Frontier, and Frontier took the plane out of service. Well, we sent Kate to find out, are people on board those flights at risk?
So the CDC knew Amber Vinson had a slight fever and she was about to fly.
If they knew that she was one of the people being monitored, she should never have been allowed to travel.
But the CDC let her anyway.
We know the second patient traveled on a flight from Cleveland to Dallas a day before she started exhibiting any symptoms. The question now, what do people aboard that same flight have to worry about?
Dr. Lee Riley, professor of infectious diseases at UC Berkeley, answers our questions.
For example, what if she drank from a water glass and handed it to a flight attendant? Would that flight attendant be at risk? Or what if she coughed and then touched the window shade, and with those same hands touch the overhead bin compartment? Or would the passenger next to her be at risk for simply sharing an armrest?
Patient might have touched. That's not really going to contribute to further transmission.
There's always a risk she used the bathroom and didn't wash her hands.
I hope that kind of scenario doesn't occur, but if the person is not symptomatic or relatively early in the phase of exposure, it's probably not a big risk.
That Frontier plane is being decontaminated, and the airline warned all passengers aboard that day. But the doctor says,
bottom line, these passengers really don't have anything to worry about.
Yeah, I don't think so.
House Speaker John Boehner is calling for a temporary ban on flights from countries with the Ebola outbreak. In Oakland, Cate Caugurian, KPIX 5.